What is one of the best reversal strategy that I've used to explode profits in the stock market? Hey guys, Joey here, top tier myself, trader in Philip Securities, and in this video, I'll be showing you guys this reversal strategy as part of the entire one good trend strategy. So if you want to find out a little bit more on the entire strategy, click on the link below this video, register for free online training whereby it's 2 hours long and we'll dive in even deeper. Alright, but today I'll just be talking about reversal. How do we even tell a reversal, and what do we want to do when we do see a reversal? So you're gonna watch this video all the way to the end. Right, there'll be live case study as well, and we'll dive into some of the charts, live charts, to see what are some of the stocks that are kind of like looking at the reversal right now, and there could be more upside as well. So first thing first, what is a reversal? Well, a reversal just means a stock that is moving down and down in a downtrend, and it is now starting to turn up. That's where we want to catch the reversal to ride it as it turns up, or when it continues to hit even higher. So that's a reversal from down to up. Another reversal would be when able to like hit higher and higher and higher, and it starts to reverse back down, and that's where you want to be careful. You want to get out, and you don't want to hold all the way back down. All right, so we are talking about pretty much a reversal from a downtrend to an uptrend. So let's talk about what is a downtrend and uptrend first before we talk about what to actually look out for. So in a downtrend, a chart will go something like this. So you can see that in the downtrend, we are forming what we call lower high. So this is what we call a downtrend. We normally don't want to buy a stock that is in a downtrend, because you never know how low it can go, right? I mean, low can go lower and lower. So you can see this is like the low, the low, and the low. The low gets lower and lower. So if you are buying in a downtrend, you want to be careful, because you can just go down and down and down, and then you buy more and you get stuck. All right, and we never want to do that in a downtrend. We never want to think about buying in a downtrend. Maybe if you're holding on to it, you want to reduce your exposure, sell some, get out, cut loss. That's what you want to do in a downtrend until, all right, there are clear signs of a reversal. That means there are some signs of some stability coming in. There are some signs of a support being found. There are some signs of a bottom, whereby there could be a potential reversal back up. So when that happens, that is where you want to get prepared to get in, all right, to ride the reversal, but not when it is in a downtrend and there's no end to it. Does it make sense? All right, so how do we know if a stock has kind of like, find some stability or like a bottom? Well, you can see that in the downtrend, as I mentioned, right, the low gets, lower and lower. So the low go lower and lower, and in fact, it can continue going lower and lower, all right, if it continues a downtrend. But somewhere along the way, all right, if we do see the low, right, not getting lower and lower, all right, and we see the low kind of like being the same as the previous low. For example, right over here, you can see that we have found a bit of a support over here. So the low actually gets to be the same. So that is where we can draw what we call a support level, right? So it can touch like 1 or 2 or 3 times, and when we touch a couple of times, it just shows that at least it's not going lower, right? We have found a support, and this support is there. Prices have rebounded from it a few times, and as long as we stay above this support, well, I would say that there could be a potential reversal. Doesn't mean once you touch it and it will surely rebound up, no, right? But we could potentially see a reversal from like a downwards movement to an eventual upwards movement. Does it make sense? Right? So how do we get the confirmation of the reversal? Well, so once it hits the bottom, right, it doesn't mean it hits the bottom and it will definitely start to push higher and the reversal will definitely happen to the uptrend, right? It doesn't always happen that way, right? Sometimes it could like rebound and rebound, and before you know it, when pump, all right, we might break the support level and we might hit even lower, right? We might hit even lower, right, if it does break the support level. So that is what can happen as well, right? But how do we know if it is starting to get higher whereby the reversal is happening? Well, that is if we were to break a key resistance level. So as it consolidates and as it finds a bottom, so you can see right over here, it moves down, up, down, up, down, up. So we found a bottom, but the key here for a reversal to happen is that we want to break a key resistance level. So that is a price level whereby you can see that sellers are coming back to push it down and down like 2 times, and finally we do see like this support level being broken right over here. So this resistance level being broken, that means it breaks above the resistance level. Well, that is a good sign of now this resistance becoming a support level. All right, so that's where we get more confirmation that this stock has not only bottomed, but it has got out of its consolidation phase right over here. So this is like number 1. This is like phase number 1, all right, and it has gone to phase number 2, all right. So it has gone to a higher consolidation phase from number 1 to number 2 just by breaking above a very key resistance level. So once we get that, well, that could be a very good sign of a reversal just starting to happen. And that's where you could put this stock in your watch list, because you want to be able to catch the reversal to ride more upside as it more hopefully turns in an uptrend as well. So that's the first thing to look for, right, in terms of just looking at the prices itself. So after breaking this resistance level, that's where we want to see prices holding above this new support level right over here. So as long as you stay above this new support level, there is a potential for the uptrend to eventually form up. So how do we know if an uptrend has formed up? Well, as I mentioned, we want to look at what we call the prices in terms of the lows. So now you can see that the lows are getting higher. So each time, it moves up, it trades back down. So even in an uptrend, you can see that prices actually trades back down. You can see it trades back down. So each time it trades back down, the key here is that buyers came back and start to push prices even higher. All right, come back down, even higher, come back down a little bit, even higher. So that's what we call an uptrend. That's where you pretty much want to focus about buying stocks like that, not just in this reversal move, but as it continues to move higher and turn into an uptrend. All right, so let's take a look at a live case study to see what are some of the stocks that are showing this, and there could be more upside. So this is what we call an uptrend right over here. So we have pretty much seen the reversal from a downtrend to an uptrend. So that's pretty much how it goes in terms of a reversal from down to up. It doesn't happen like 1, 2 days, 1 week, 2 weeks. It might take place 2 or 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. We might consolidate a little bit for a couple of months before seeing the reversal. But once you see this, that is where you want to get prepared, right? So that's just by looking at the prices itself. Okay, so let's take a look at the case study, and this stock is called Palantir, stock code PLTR, one of the very popular stocks that I get asked quite often on. All right, and to see if a reversal has already happened over the past couple of months, and does it look similar to what I've drawn in the diagram on my whiteboard just now, right? So this is Palantir at about $23. So remember, right, for a reversal, we want to see prices heading down and down and down. So we're talking about like a downtrend to an uptrend, so a downwards movement to an upwards movement, and that's where we want to get prepared to ride the reversal and get into to ride more upside, right, to profit on the upwards direction. So we must be heading down. So you can see that for Palantir, since like 2-3 years back in 2021, all right, we have found a little bit of a resistance, all right, and you can see that the highs actually gets lower. You can see each time it goes lower and lower and lower. So we were pretty much in a downtrend, I would say, since 2021. So that is pretty much a downwards movement of prices, all right, sellers just coming down and pushing it lower and lower. So when that happens, right, as I mentioned, we don't want to think about getting in, because it can just go down and down from like $30, from $40 to $30, $20, $15, $10, all the way until like $8 to $6, and that's where how much it can go if it's in a downtrend. So we try not to get in if a stock is just moving down and down or in a downtrend, right, until we see some stability, right? So remember, in the diagram I mentioned that we want to see prices finding a little bit of a support. That means the lows that's been going down and down and down, getting lower and lower. Finally, the lows get to be the same, right? That means we have found a bit of a bottom, a similar price level whereby it just rebounds from, right? So that is what we have seen for Nvidia right over somewhere around here. I think that would be this support level around the $6 mark. So when that happened, you can see that over the past like April all the way until like April, for about a year, right, we were actually trading towards these $6. You can see we rebounded, went back up, rebounded, and we were holding above that $6. So that's where we have seen a bottom, right? A bottom, right? It doesn't mean that it will surely go up, but at least the low does not get lower. Does it make sense, right? So when do we want to get a confirmation of a reversal potentially happening? Well, same thing, right? So if you have found a bottom, it touches support, it rebounds. A rebounds could be 1, 2, or 3 times. But the key here is that in order for a reversal to happen, it doesn't mean that we want to see these 3 things, all right, or these 3 rebounds. We want to see a break or a very firm bullish move above that resistance level. So it could be a previous support level that we have broke down and it turned to resistance, but we want to really get above to a higher consolidation phase. So let's see if that happened for Palantir. Right over here, we could have a little bit of a bit of a resistance level around the $10 mark. You can see right over here, that was pretty much the resistance level whereby we were trading for about 5 to 6 months. You can see it's a bit of a support level right here. Support, we broke down. You can see went all the way up to 10, came back down, and we were consolidating sideways from $6 to $10. So when it were to break above the $10, right, somewhere around like May last year, well, that was when, I mentioned that there could be a potential upside because we have broken a very key resistance level, the $10, whereby we have been trading below for about a year. All right. So last year, when some of my mentees and students asked me, I talk about this stock, yeah, there could be a potential reversal. It's not 100%, but there's a very high chance as long as we will stay above the $10 level, because we have got out to a higher consolidation phase from 6 to 10. Now we are above 10. As long as we stay above 10, that is a good thing, and started to push a little bit higher. You can see that we started to push up more, all right, and we found an even higher support level. So the support, right, $10 resistance, it will turn into a support level. So if we were to stay, above 10, we could maybe see a bit of a retracement, and we stay above 10, that is good as well. But for Palladium, we actually push even higher, right, even higher. You can see that we managed to find another support level that's gone even higher, and that would be around that $14 level as well, right? You can see over here, $14 was pretty much the resistance. Now it's back to this support level right over here. So it has gone from $10 to $14, and we actually started to consolidate even higher. So that's a sign of strength just by looking at the prices itself, right? In terms of a reversal from a downwards direction to an upwards movement, right? If you see a break above a resistance and consolidation at a higher level, well, you want to be prepared. There could be more upside. It could be the beginning of a reversal, and that's where you want to be prepared to position yourselves to ride more upside in the uptrend to even continue further. And you can see that since then, all right, the support has gone even higher. So let me go to draw another support line right over here. I think that would be around that $22 right over here. You can see that it was a bit of a resistance, swing up and down, and same thing, pump, right? We broke above that 22 resistance, which would now be like a new support level. So for Lentil, right, you can see that the trend has already turned up, right, from a downtrend to a consolidation. We managed to go on to a higher consolidation, and we are pretty much in an uptrend right now. So it's not just like a reversal that just happened like 1 or 2 months back, or like yesterday or last week, but since last year we have already turned into a uptrend. All right, just by looking at the lows, you can see the lows actually getting higher and higher. So that is a sign of an uptrend. So in order to get more confirmation of a reversal, right, so that you can position yourselves, like, get ready, right? Well, you can also use what we call the moving averages on top of this. You can see right over here, we are just looking at prices by itself. There's no indicator. It's just pretty much a daily candlestick bar over a 2-3 years period, and just by looking at the prices itself, we can tell if a stock is reversing up or not. All right, but to get more confirmation, we can pull out this indicator, and that's what we call the moving average. So for example, we can pull out what we call the 100 days moving average. Look at this red line right over here. So when this 100 days moving average line, you can see it's pointing down and down and down. We are a bit of a downtrend. Don't want to buy in a downtrend because it can just go lower and lower. And when this 100 days moving average line starts to flatten out, well, we may have turned into a sideways trend. We may have begin the consolidation. We have not turned up yet, but at least we have found some stability or a bottom. All right, and we could potentially turn up if we were to break above that resistance level, like I mentioned. And finally, when the 100 days moving average, the line, this red line, starts to point up, right? So it points up, and of course I mentioned we broke above the $10 right here. So these two things can lead to a better confirmation, all right, of the uptrend actually just starting. So that is the first case study whereby we have seen a reversal over the past couple of months, all right? And let's move on to the second case study. And guys, if you found some value, right, in this video so far, go to give me a like, all right? Smash the subscribe button. That will definitely help out the channel, and thank you so much for doing that so that you will not miss out any videos like this as well. All right, so let's move on to the second case study. And by the way, guys, if you want to find a little bit more in terms of the strategy as well, as I mentioned, the link is right below. Register for a free webinar whereby I share with you guys the entire one good trend strategy, not just to pick reversal, but also when do you want to think about getting in and out, what are some of the candlestick patterns that you want to look out for, right, in terms of the sequential step-by-step move of the entire strategy, right? So right now we're just focusing on like reversal, but we don't have time to dive into like every single thing in the strategy, right? So attend a free webinar to learn a little bit more. Okay, so let's dive into this stock right here called Walt Disney to see if it kind of like, is similar to what we have drawn in the diagram in terms of a reversal beginning to play out. All right, so you can see for Walt Disney, right, we have been in a downtrend, I would say, since like 2-3 years ago. We can draw a downward sloping, what we call channel resistance line. Remember, right, we can draw what we call this line kind of like connecting the high. So it forms what we call lower highs. This gets lower and lower. This is a bit of a downtrend, right? So for Walt Disney, you can see that the highs just get lower and lower and lower and lower. In fact, you don't even need to draw the line. You can see that it's a downtrend. So we don't want to think about buying, because you can just go from like 200 to 160 to 140, 130, 190 until $80, right? In about 2-3 years, yes, dropped from 200 to about $80, right? So we never want to think about buying. We only want to think about getting in when there are signs of a reversal back up, or there's some stability coming back. It doesn't just get lower and lower. We have found a higher consolidation phase. All right, so you can see that for Walt Disney, right, we have found a bit of a support somewhere over here around the $80, right? $80 over the past like 3 to 4 months, somewhere around October, November. It seems like we have found a bit of a bottom right over here. So it's something similar to what I've drawn, right? It goes down and down. We found a bit of a support, rebounds, goes back down, rebound, and the low does not get any lower. It just remains the same, right? So that's a sign of strength, because all this while it just has been going lower and lower. But now, buyers just comes back to defend a specific price level and it starts to rebound back up. So right around here at about that $80, right? $80, maybe $78 to $80. You can see that that's where we staged the first rebound, second, third, fourth, all right, and it starts to rebound back up. So that is where a bottom could have been found, all right, and as long as we stay above that level, that's a good thing. There could be a potential reversal, but we want to get the confirmation. And where would that come? Well, a confirmation will only come if we were to break above that resistance level. So let me go to draw this line right over here. I think that would be somewhere around that 85 to 86 level. So you can see, right, we were like consolidating up, down, up, down, up, down. So it's a bit of a support. We broke down and we started to find the bottom right over here, and only after breaking above this resistance level. So for like 3 to 4 months, we were doing like 80 to 85, all right, yeah, about 80 to 85, and finally we managed to go above that 85 level. Well, that is a sign of strength. That is a sign of a potential reversal, just like what I've shown you over here, whereby we were consolidating and we break above the resistance. There could be more upside, all right, as long as we hold above this new support level. So same thing, as long as we hold above that $85 support here. Let me just turn this to green in color. Well, it could be the start of more upside. So we started to push higher and higher, and same thing, we got another maybe resistance level somewhere around that 105, 104. You can see this is a little bit of a resistance here just by looking at the past prices. A bit of a resistance. So you can see support here, and same thing, we managed to break above that resistance level as well. All right, so you can see right now it's about $122. So let me just go to draw another resistance level. I think somewhere around here, 125. There's a resistance level here as well. You can see we are kind of like approaching the resistance level based on what we've seen about 2 years back. So for Walt Disney, I would say that the reversal has already began. I would say 3 to 4 months ago. Now it is just continuing to push a little bit higher. We might see a bit of profit taking as we head to the next resistance. Like for now, as I mentioned, 125 would be the resistance. But if we were to get above the 125 level, for example, we might hit here and then we might just consolidate a little bit and pump, right? If we break above the 125 or maybe 130, well, that is where the uptrend can continue even further, right? So right now we're just looking at prices itself, all right, in terms of the highs and lows, the support and resistance to gauge if a reversal has already happened. So yes, already happened, all right, and it could potentially push higher if it breaks another resistance level, right? So let's pull out what we call the moving average in terms of the 100 days moving average. Again, you can see right over here, right? So same thing, right? Previously, about 2 years back, the 100 days moving average line, you can see it was like flat, it was just down, right? So it's a bit of a very strong downtrend since 2021, down, 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 started to flatten out over here. Can you see right over here? I mentioned about this level, right? The $85. So as it were to break above to a higher consolidation phase above that 85, this 100 days moving average line that was pointing down, 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 and prices was all the while below it, right? Started to flatten out, and now it is starting to point up. All right, so that could be another confirmation that the trend has turned from a downtrend to a sideways trend for a while, and now potentially starting to point up, right? Whereby we could see the reversal all the way back up as it slowly covered the gap we have formed previously, and the high, as I mentioned, was about like 190, $200. Well, that is potentially where we may hit to if it continues to reverse back up. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope you found this video useful. We have looked at 2 case studies, alright, after looking at this diagram that I've drawn right over here. So I hope you have a better understanding of how do you actually want to position yourselves to catch the reversal of stocks, right, from a downwards direction to an upwards direction, and why you never want to think about this buying and getting in. If the stock has not really reversed yet, it's just showing weakness, it's finding lower lows, lower highs, just pushing lower in a downtrend, you don't want to think about getting in, right? You only want to think about getting in when there is signs of stability, a bottom being found, a reversal just starting to play out, all right, eventually it turns to an uptrend. That's where you can ride even further. I hope that makes sense to you, right? So if you want to find a little bit more, guys, on this strategy, all right, the one good trend strategy, and maybe how we have a system as well that alerts us to stock like this and guides us on entry and exit, you can attend one of those free online trainings that we are still running on Zoom, all right? The link's right below. Click on the link, register for this training, all right, and I'll share with you a little bit more on how a system can help you as well. So thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. Joey here. Hit the like, subscribe, all right, hit the follow button as well so that you will not miss out on any videos like this. I'll see you soon.